made whole if and only if they humbly confess their brokenness. That's the word of the Lord. That is the good news. The good news is that God fixes broken vessels. What is your responsibility in that? To confess your brokenness, to come out of your pit.
So the good news, the gospel, right? This is the gospel. God fixes broken vessels. Period. Is that the good news, guys? Man, I'm getting riled up over here. We might have to switch false teachers, man. Goodness gracious, man. He takes me from one end of the spectrum of emotion to the other. He really does, man. That's a false gospel. What's so the gospel is God fixes broken vessels. Let's see what Paul says about those who preach a false gospel. If any man comes preaching another gospel. Galatians 1:6. If any man comes along and tells you that the gospel is that God fixes broken vessels, I'm astonished that you are so quickly deserting him who called you in the grace of Christ and are turning to a different gospel. Not that there is another one, but there are some who trouble you and want to distort the gospel of Christ. But even if we, the apostles, even if one of us or an angel from heaven should preach to you a gospel that's contrary to the one we preach to you of Christ crucified, let him be accursed. Maybe that's why God brought such a weird guy to do this in me. Because of that. Because I'm not letting up. Not for a long time, son. As we have said before, so now I say again, if anyone is preaching to you a gospel contrary to the one you received, let him be accursed, anathema, all of it.
Pigsty in your humiliation and say, I can't do this on my own. I have to have the help of the Father. I cannot do this. That's your responsibility. If you're waiting on God to do something irresistibly to make you overcome your addiction, oh God, if you'll just take away this desire. Oh God, if you'll just remove this addiction. Oh God, if you will just make me want this or want that. Listen, you're going to be waiting until it's too late, because the Bible over and over again says that's your responsibility, not his. Help me spread this truth. Go to soteriology101.com if you can support us. We need all the patron help that we...
Anybody hear anything about Christ crucified in that little spill of the gospel there? At the very least, put Christ crucified in it. I got to get off this. I got to get out of here. Let's go to someone else. Let's get out of here, man. Can't do it no more, dude. You're going to say all of that and you're not even going to slip Christ crucified into there? You ought to be ashamed of yourself, you doctor, you director of evangelism. Get out of town, man. Get out of town, dude. We got to go to somebody else, man, before I get too upset up in here. My flesh is starting to show, man, because I'm getting upset. Everyone should be. Everyone should be upset at that. Bro just said that the gospel is that God fixes broken vessels. Blah, 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 yakety yak. Support us.